How much leniency should a prison inmate have while serving their sentence? Should those inmates still be treated as human and thus given the same treatment and rights that law-abiding citizens participate in? What about if they are killers? Should prison inmates be treated without respect and care to the point that they would wish for death? On August 17, 1979, the life of 16-year-old Michael Ridenour was brutally snuffed out when a trio of people came upon Michael and along with his friends and demanded that they give them all their money. When Michael bravely told the speaker no, the speaker pulled out an automatic weapon and shot Michael to death. Should killers be treated as subhuman since they prey upon their fellow man? Or do you think that they are worthy of redemption? My name is Jeff, aka GCurse, and I welcome you to another installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. The case of Mark Adams. I'm going to go on record and say that I do not believe that criminals, especially killers, pedophiles, rapists, all, the most heinous of crimes. I do not feel that those types of criminals can be redeemed. I think that they are beyond redemption, and I personally feel that they should be treated the same way that they treat their victims. And that's the problem we have with society now. Basically, we have to, as a society, have been trained to basically treat criminals better than to treat them with kindness and everything, which I fucking laugh at, to be honest. We have to show the killers, we have to show the rapists, we have to show the pedophiles and the molesters. We have to show them compassion and mercy because we're better than them. All the while, where was the mercy and compassion that they were showing their victims? But yeah, so that's going to be the case today that we're going to be hearing about Mark Adams. Not the pedophile and all that, but basically, Mark Adams killed a teenager, and he was sentenced to life. I think it was like 25 to life at San Quentin, which is like a horrendous prison. Which I say, good job. Prison should be horrendous. I think prison should not be Club Med. Prison should be a hellhole for the prisoners or for the inmates. But yeah, and then to top it off, as with a lot of these cases from Unsolved Mysteries, what did Mark Adams do? He was able to escape the prison because they gave this guy too many freedoms. And you'll find out about that right after these commercials.
America's going nuts over nuts.
You want me to represent you in this competency hearing?
I don't know. Are you any good?
You had good. Now you got me.
Barbara Streisand, Richard Dreyfuss, Nuts, rated R. Starts Friday, November 20th.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great day. If you are new to this series of videos, this is the portion of the section of the video where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki and I look up the case of Mark Adams. I will have my lovely assistant. Her name is Jasmine. She's my secretary. Can you tell how, or she's right there. Can you tell how lovely she is? Anyway, I will be having her read to us the case of Mark Adams from the wiki. So let's get to that, shall we? Okay, let's do this. Oh, wrong one. There we go. This and then this. And basically, the program that I use, it's part of the Windows Edge browser. It's the read aloud function. And for quite a long time, it has not been working properly. I forgot to see if there's any updates. There's an update. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it, and then I will unpause it when it's done recording. Okay, everybody, I am back. The program or the browser has updated, and I always hope that when it does these updates that it'll actually help with the reading program, because lately the reading program has been less than optimal, I guess you could say. Anyway, so I will read the first the bio here, so, or biography or whatever you want to call it. Mark Adams is his name. His real name was Mark Adams. Alias is none known. Was whatever wanted for escape. He was missing since 1986. Okay, so let's see how this goes. We're gonna start off with a small bit here. Hopefully it'll read it, because like I said, lately the program has been less than optimal. Okay, read aloud selection.
Details. Mark Adams was a gunman who had committed a string of armed robberies.
And there it goes. It's already starting up.
Yes. His stealing came to an end on the night of August 17th, 1979, when he and two other gunmen had finished a holdup and were discussing dividing their loot in a forest. Unbeknownst to them, the woods were near a baseball diamond where 3 high school students had been drinking beer. Frightened at being overheard, the gunmen confronted the students and ordered them to leave, as well to hand over any money or valuables they had in their pockets. When one of the boys, 16-year-old Michael Ridenour, refused, Adams shot him execution-style, and Ridenour died instantly. Eventually, all 3 gunmen were captured by California state troopers. Mark Adams was found guilty of grand theft and first-degree murder. For his brutalities, he was remanded to the maximum security San Quentin prison, which had gained the reputation as the most notorious prison in California after Alcatraz was decommissioned in 1963, and houses such notorious criminals as Charles Manson.
Okay, so basically we have a guy who literally killed somebody just because they were worried that that they could have been found out. And let's see here. And as you saw, he was found guilty of first-degree murder. I thought it said that what his sentence was. I thought it was like 25 to life. But anyway, yeah. So here's a picture of Michael. I think the computer pronounced it as Ridenour. I thought it was Ridenour. I'm not sure, but here's a picture. Yeah, he was just trying to enjoy a night with his friends. Yeah. Okay, so let's go down to here and see how it goes. I already got my mouse here in case if I think it's going to act up.
Surprisingly, the regimented life of San Quentin seemed to have a positive effect on Adams. Prison guards recall Adams as never being in violation of the rules and taking advantage of volunteer shops, academic classes, chapel services, or anything available that could get him out of his cell.
Okay, see, this is one thing I disagree with, the whole idea of giving criminals or murderers, giving murderers any sort of leeway, freedoms, whatever you want to call it. To me, if you commit a murder, that's not something that everybody just does. Committing a murder isn't like going and getting a pack of eggs from the grocery store. No, you literally took somebody's life. And because of that, I think that they should be murderers, pedophiles, rapists, all those like high tier criminals. They should be treated to the point that they should wish for death. So I am totally against the whole idea of of volunteer shops, academic classes, chapel services, or anything that could help these criminals. No, they should be forced into a cell for 23 hours a day. They should have a bucket to piss and shit in, no bed, and to top it off, just to fucking break those prisoners, because that's what I think prison should be. Prison should be seen as a way to literally break the prisoners, make them fucking go apeshit crazy. They should also have the cells built in such a way where it would force a person to be hunched over all the time, either hunched over or crawling. They should, the cell itself, in my opinion, should be designed in such a way to help that the breaking process. Instead of giving them a bed, a possible TV, a toilet, a sink, no, give them a fucking no bed. Give them a bucket and tell them to sleep on the hard floor. When the bucket is full, the bucket would be emptied. If they decide to be a tough shit and empty the bucket on the floor and not show the respect to the prison that the prison deserves, then they'd basically be forced to sleep in their shit and piss until the guards felt it was time to remove that prisoner and clean up that cell. But like I said, it's my feeling that I feel that a prison should be a factory to break its inhabitants. It shouldn't be seen as a way for prisoners to better themselves. I have seen so many cases on television where, especially like gang members, will use prison as a way to help them with how they with their gang activities, and it shouldn't be like that. I've seen shows where some of these prisons literally look better than what some homes that people have to live in, and it should not be like that. It should not be like that. Prison should be seen as a tool to literally break the spirits, break the bodies, break the people who inhabit it. And even if a murderer is, say, given parole, they should, by the time they leave that prison, physically, mentally, they should be destroyed. That way, if they even look at another person, they would have to fucking traumatically relive the last 20 plus years or whatever of that hell that they just, was mercifully given an escape from. But that's just my opinion. Also, this whole thing that they said that he let's see here, he was never in violation of the rules. Criminals will seek a way to get out of prison, escape most, preferably. So a lot of them will act good, act nice and everything in order to get these details, and from that they can start planning their escape. If you hear noise in the background, I apologize. I actually learned how to add some filters to my microphone, so I'm hoping that you're not going to be picking up that much about it. There's a siren going on. Okay, it sounds like it went by, but anyway, yeah, he was, Mark Adams was a good prisoner, whatever you want to call it, because he was biding his time. He was hoping that by being a good prisoner, that he could get one of these privileges and thus, try to figure a way to escape. I do not believe that a prisoner, especially a killer, I do not believe those top tier type of criminals willingly will just sit out the rest of their life in prison. No, they want out. And that's what he was doing. He was just biding his time. And it just pisses me off when people are like, oh, he was such a model prisoner. We didn't think that he'd ever do so. He's a fucking killer. The guy is a fucking killer. What do you expect? And that's another thing that I feel like goes along with how society is now. We have the warden, the guards, and they try to see the best in these criminals, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Why should you see the best in these criminals when these criminals do not value the life of their victims? They saw no value in the life of the people that they violated. Why the fuck should we show them any compassion that they lacked when it came to who they committed the crimes upon?
Mark Adams would have been considered eligible for parole in 2007. One afternoon in 1986, he told a guard he had access to an area of the prison he normally was not allowed, showing authorization papers to meet with the dental officer.
And right there, I would have, if this was my country, and I always say, if this was my country, then, how would I do things differently? I would have found out who that warden was of San Quentin at this time, and he would have been torn a new ass. For a criminal to show papers without much in a way of vetting those papers, and to be literally told, okay, you can go, that was a gross failure on behalf of the warden and that prison and San Quentin. If anything, there should at least have been a mandatory guard to go with Mark Adams. If Mark Adams had a paper goes, I need to go, where did they say it was? Let's see here. Oh, dental. The dental office. If he came with papers that said I have to go to the dental office, and the papers looked legit, the ranking people in that room should have been like, okay, sit down. We're going to get you a guard, and we're going to move you from this location to the dental office. If Mark Adams was like, well, I don't need I don't need a guard. I'll go straight there. I promise. The person should have been like, I don't care. You're getting a guard. And then the way it could have gone, Mark could have escalated, like, no, I don't need a guard. It's right over there. I can walk. I don't care if it's there or across the fucking street. You're getting a guard. And if Mark continued to fucking give a little bit of resistance, then the guards would have the right to punish him as needed. But the fact that they like, oh, okay, this looks okay, you can go. Big fucking problem on the prison's part. Why was there not a guard to escort this guy? This isn't the first case that I recently covered where a criminal was able to just basically leave the grounds of the prison. There was, I can't recall what the the killer's name was. But I recently covered a case where there was a killer and he was assigned off-site, unsupervised work detail. And he literally just got in the car of his girlfriend and they left. This is what is wrong with the fucking prison systems, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, let's continue on. Okay. Yeah, let's just go on 3 theories. Whenever a prisoner has to go somewhere, there should always be a fucking guard watching them.
The guard, who normally did allow inmates safe passage in order to proceed to the infirmary, did not suspect anything out of the ordinary. A couple of hours later, Adams was not in his cell during the routine 8-hour check. San Quentin was placed on lockdown, but there was no sign of Adams. Authorities were perplexed at how Mark Adams managed to flee San Quentin, a prison many call escape-proof, and drew 3 theories.
Okay, so basically he had at least 8 hours by the sounds of it to make, to be in the wind basically. And like I said, this goes back to a general all-around failure on the prison and the warden and everything. If anything, I say this is more of a failure on the warden, because the warden, if I understand how prisons work, isn't the warden the one basically who makes the policies for that prison? If the warden wants, couldn't he, within reason right now, because of rules and laws and rights and all that shit, couldn't the warden literally make rules like needing mandatory guards and everything? I say that this is a big flaw on that warden also. And the fact that you would think that there should be some prison officers who would actually go up to the warden and go, warden, maybe we shouldn't be just allowing criminals to walk from one location to another. Maybe we should be having a guard with them. But then again, that's how I think. I mean, I like to think that I think logically, but yeah. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, is it gonna? Oh, it's not gonna select number one. Okay, so we'll do number one, the first theory.
Adams had managed to scale one of the 25-foot walls, despite being earmarked as kill zones, in which guards are authorized to open fire on inmates. This theory is the least believable, as guards are posted at battlements and would have likely spotted Adams. But the positions were predictable, and the possibility could have occurred that Adams could have taken advantage of possibly distracted guard who considered his posting routine.
Anything is possible. Well, let's not select that. I have, if I ran this country, I would have a setup where science would, have basically advanced far enough that we could inject a micro explosive into the neck of the people. Now, I can't recall where I seen this from, but it's most likely a movie that I saw this and I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. But inject like a micro explosive into their neck and then have a wireless fence around the entire prison. You go beyond that fence, and it would not be like a huge explosion, like a nuclear explosion. It would just be enough to blow open your neck and cause you to bleed out. But that's what I would, prefer. It would prevent escapes anymore. And there would need to be an example made. And the first day that new prisoners come, especially killers, have one of them walk towards the fence. The other prisoners watch as that person's neck gets blown open. They'll be told, you cross this line, that happens to you. I would guarantee you your motherfucking bottom dollar that escapes would turn to zero. And the whole thing is also there would be a kill switch, or I don't want to say kill switch. Kill switch isn't the right term. There would be like an execute button. Like say if the prisoner or the inmates start rioting, there would be a message given over the loudspeakers. Stop your rioting, lay down on the ground in 2 minutes, or the execute button would be hit. And it doesn't matter, who's all in that room. Each and every one of those prisoners, their necks would be blown open. I'll make you a bet that if they're rioting and then all of a sudden you hear 2-minute warning, calm your shit, lay down on the ground, or face the consequences, I'm pretty sure that rioting would stop. Okay, here, I'll read this next part actually, since it's pretty small. The next theory is about 20 to 30 service vehicles enter and exit San Quentin each day. Wow, 20 to 30? I figured it'd be a lot less, Anyway, such as garbage trucks and food service vans. Said vehicles are subject to rigorous inspection. Apparently, it wasn't that rigorous that day, possibly. But Adams could have hid in one of the vehicles should be one in one part. Oh, one part of the vehicle where he was undetected. There could be, but still, a vehicle should be checked from top to bottom. Adams acquired donned civilian clothes, mingled with the people at the visitor center, and made his way to freedom when the visitors were ushered out by the guards. This theory is the most believable, as it would have been the easiest for Adams to accomplish. Okay, well, say if that is the truth. Say if that's what happened. I would find out, see who he was possibly talking to if he had visitors, visiting rights. See who it was that could have brought in clothing. If it wasn't a visitor that was visiting him on Visitor's Day or whatever it's called, look at the fellow inmates. See what they know. Somehow the motherfucker escaped. It's just a matter of finding out how. Okay, well, I think I'll just read the rest of this. So I just want to say thank you to Jasmine for joining us. And actually, the program actually acted very good, very nice this time. It did not give us any real problems. So thank you, Jasmine, and we'll see you next time. Okay. So here is the rest. So extra notes. The case first aired on the November 16th, 1988 episode. The case was also featured on America's Most Wanted. Results. Captured. In 1993, Adams was captured in Humacao, Puerto Rico. Thanks to tips from America's Most Wanted. At the time, he was living under the name Michael. Oh, okay. I was starting to get close to this. I thought it was going to say Michael Jackson, but it was Michael Jacobson. I was really about to say, really? Michael Jackson? Really? Okay, Michael Jacobson. With his wife, former prison supervisor Elsie Diaz. After his arrest, he was returned to San Quentin. He was shot and killed by guards during a fight in the prison exercise yard on March 7th, 1994. His family later sued San Quentin Prison and its director, claiming that the guards used excessive force. In December of 1998, the family was awarded. The family was awarded $2 million. The piece of shit killed a 16-year-old. The piece of shit gets killed in a fight in prison, which I honestly don't feel bad about. He was a killer after all. And his family gets $2 million. What the fuck is wrong with this picture, ladies and gentlemen? No, I seriously am asking, what the fuck is wrong with this picture when a killer gets killed and his family gets $2 million? If anything, that $2 million should have gone over back to Mike Ridenour's family. They lost their son. They're never going to get any more time with Mike. The killer escaped. The killer, Mark Adams, escaped from prison. He was living the good life down in Puerto Rico. Apparently, he got married. He gets caught, is brought back to prison where he should have fucking been the entire time. He decides to get into a fight. He gets killed. And the family gets $2 million. I don't know about you, but I think that's a fucking injustice. Fucking injustice. Okay, guys, so that was the case of Mark Adams. I will be right back after these commercials with my final thoughts. Stay tuned.
Tone up your body with exercise. Tone up your skin with tone. I'm tone it up from my head to my toe. I'm tone it up, now my skin's gonna glow. I'm tone it up, looking good. I'm tone it up. Tone, the skincare bar with cocoa butter. It cleans, moisturizes, and conditions for healthy-looking skin. I'm tone it up, now my skin's gonna glow. I'm tone it up. Tone up with tone.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the portion of the video where I give you my final thoughts, and ultimately, the more towards the end of this, I was actually pretty happy because a killer ultimately died. You know, he died, lived by the sword. He died by the sword, basically. He killed somebody, and then he was ultimately killed while in prison. I was actually fucking proud of that basically justice was ultimately served. He paid the price. He took a life. He lost his life. That's the way it should always be, eye for an eye. And to those people to the people in our society who basically says, well, an eye for an eye makes the world go blind, that's a fucking pussy mentality. I'm not afraid to say it. That is a coward's mentality. Stop enabling people. Anyway, I was actually, I was happy with the outcome until I found out that his family, Mark Adams' family, sued who is it exactly that let's see, they sued San Quentin Prison and its director. I was happy until I found that out and learned that his family got $2 million. Please explain to me how this is fair. Mark Adams kills a 16-year-old. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't mention anything in this. It doesn't mention anything about in this article about the family getting any sort of damages against Mark Adams. Mark Adams killed their family member. He is later killed, and his family somehow gets $2 million. Explain that one to me. How the fuck is that fair? And the answer is it's not. It's gross. If anything, I'm not sure, now it's just me. I'm sitting here doing this video. But if I put myself in the shoes of Mike Ridenour's family, if I put myself in their shoes, I would be honestly pissed. A piece of shit takes away a loved one. I can't do anything. The law prevents me from getting any sort of revenge. I have to accept the fact that Mark Adams was put in prison. I have to accept that. He gets killed, I'd be like, fine, good. Poetic justice. A killer gets killed. I don't see a problem with that. Only to find out that his family gets $2 million because because a killer was killed by according to this, as police. But the police was trying to, or the guards or whatever. And to me, that's fucking bogus. That's fucking bogus. My loved one would be in the ground forever. He's never coming back. If I was in their shoes, my loved one would be stuck in the ground forever. He's never coming back. The killer's family gets $2 million fucking dollars. Oh yeah, that's not that is a fucking slap to the face of the victim. And I'm telling you right now, if you agree to the fact that his family deserved the $2 million because evil police, evil prison, whatever the fuck, you are what's wrong with this country. I'm not even insinuating it. I'm telling you outright, if you can defend a killer and you can sleep okay at night with the thought that his family gets $2 million, you are what's wrong with this fucking world. Okay, so that's with that said, I have not much left to really say. It's just, I fucking hate this world sometimes. Anyway, so next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, it's going to deal with the case of Stephen Cox. Basically, he embezzled a shit ton of money from people in his town. And I have the preview for that was aired on television. It'll give you an idea of what you can expect in the next Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. So here is the video. Wait, wrong one. Sorry.
Stephen Cox was a small-town hero. Handsome, popular, successful. Stephen Cox may also have been a con man who bilked over $3 million out of his unsuspecting neighbors. The people of Medford, Oregon want their money back.
And I don't blame them. They deserve to have their money back. They trusted somebody to invest their money. and it turned out the person basically took their money and ran. Now, finally, there's another video here I was going to want to show, and the reason you're wondering why I actually want to show this next video, it's because they actually had a small portion of the Mark Adams case in this video. If you ever watched VH1, you may have heard of the TV series I Love the 80s. And in their 1988 episode, they actually covered Unsolved Mysteries, and I loved the I Love the 80s TV series, so I thought I would share this with everybody. So here it is.
Unsolved Mysteries is my favorite.
I loved Unsolved Mysteries because, well, one, they never got solved.
Okay, well, she's partially right and partially wrong. A lot of cases have been solved.
Perhaps someone tonight can help them. Perhaps they were watching. Perhaps it's you.
Unsolved Mysteries dealt with every mystery that was known to man.
Abductions,
break-in with a murder,
Supernatural,
missing persons.
Just hearing the theme song would make me want to wet my pants.
Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't feel like I wanted to wet my pants, but I did actually get a little bit nervous when I'd go to bed at night after I watched these episodes, because they had the same theme playing at the during the credits, and this show would air right before I went to bed. So the last thing I actually heard before I went to bed was this theme. So yeah, I remember laying in bed. I think it was like on Tuesdays or Wednesday nights, you know, and I would be literally kind of looking at my window, and I would be a while before I could actually get to sleep because of the theme. The theme made me nervous and everything.
Bung, 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 bung. Robert Stack was the host, and he was a little eerie.
Okay, I love this graphic that they did, or this effect that they did in the video. This was not me. They actually did this in the video where they removed his eyes. I remember that I took a screen capture of this image, and I actually used it on my Facebook for a few years. And it freaked out my friends. It freaked out my friends. And I can understand. It is a pretty eerie picture. And even 20 years later, almost after this episode aired, because I think this was like 1988 or whatever, 98 when they aired this episode. But anyway, yeah, I still look at this and I still get a little bit freaked out.
I was always terrified of the reenactments.
Weird actors that weren't quite committed to their roles.
Give me your...
Okay, now here we go. This scene right here with the three masked men, these are the guys who robbed Mike Ridenour. Mike Ridenour. The one in the very front here with the greenish colored mask, that is Mark Adams.
Wallets.
Why don't you guys just leave us alone?
The reenactments weren't exactly gritty or realistic. They were more on the par of a Lifetime movie.
Can I help you with something?
See that picture of that boy over there?
Yeah, what about it?
You might as well take it down. I'm gonna find him dead in 2 days.
I thought the dramatic reenactments were the actual footage.
Okay, now I'll be honest. When I was younger, and I would watch this back in like 87, 88, when it was just the specials and everything. So I was watching Unsolved Mysteries back when it was just the specials before it came an actual TV series. I was young enough. I actually thought what we were watching was the actual crimes itself. It took a while before I actually realized and learned that these were just reenactments, even though they've had the fucking the warning on the opening credits saying that these were just reenactments and all that. I did not register it. I just saw these and I'm thinking, oh my god, the killer's right there. Why are you not doing anything? But yeah, so yeah.
Put the camera down and help. You
Yeah,
just stopped
exactly.
filming and ran and caught him.
Oh, it's just a reenactment.
Kay had seen a glimpse of a man walking past the open doorway.
It's the kind of show you don't want to watch, but you can't really look away from.
The hairs are standing up on my arm right now thinking of it.
I love radio.
Okay, so that was something I just thought I'd share. You know, like I love the 80s TV series. I wish they'd actually bring it back, bring out some more facts, but they haven't done it. I don't think they ever will. But anyway, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's switch over to this. Okay, as always, if you like what you watch, which I hope you did, I hope that you clicked on the subscribe, click on the like, and the bell, and you'll be alerted when I release my next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. Until next time, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day and stay safe, everybody. Peace out.